people assumed there had only ever been one kind of human on Earth. Modern genetics and archaeology tell a very different story.
Hello, chums. I'm Them. This is Them's Facts.
Here are 3 human species our ancestors once shared the planet with. 2 of them may still be living quietly inside your DNA. Number 3. Homo floresiensis. In 2003, archaeologists working on the Indonesian island of Flores uncovered a set of small skeletons inside a cave. The bones belonged to a human species that stood about 1 meter tall, roughly the height of a modern toddler. Scientists named this species Homo floresiensis. Their bodies were small and their skulls unusually compact, yet they produced stone tools and hunted animals on the island. Those animals included dwarf elephants that had also evolved smaller sizes in the island environment. Many researchers believe these humans descended from an earlier population that became isolated on Flores. Over thousands of years, limited resources and island conditions favored smaller body sizes. This evolutionary process is sometimes called island dwarfism. Dating evidence suggests Homo floresiensis survived until roughly 50,000 years ago. By that time, modern humans had already begun moving through Southeast Asia. That means that within relatively recent prehistory, the planet may have been home to more than one type of human at the same time. Number 2. Denisovans. Another human species entered the scientific record in a much stranger way. In 2008, archaeologists working in a cave in Siberia recovered a small fragment of bone from a child's finger. It was sent for genetic analysis. The DNA turned out to belong to a previously unknown human population. Researchers named them Denisovans after the cave where the bone was found. Physical evidence remains scarce. Only a few bones and teeth have been identified so far. Yet their genetic presence shows up clearly in modern human populations. Scientists began scanning modern genomes for related sequences. They soon found Denisovan DNA in people across parts of Asia and the Pacific. In some populations, especially in Papua New Guinea and nearby regions, Denisovan ancestry can reach around 5%. Some of those genes influence real biological traits. One well-known example involves populations living on the Tibetan Plateau. A genetic variant associated with surviving extremely low oxygen levels appears to trace back to Denisovan ancestry. People carrying that gene can tolerate very high altitudes far better than most others. So, even though Denisovans are known from only a handful of fossils, their genetic influence remains visible today. Number 1. Neanderthals. The most famous of extinct relatives are the Neanderthals. They lived across Europe and Western Asia for hundreds of thousands of years before modern humans arrived. Archaeological evidence shows they built tools, hunted large animals, used fire, and cared for injured members of their communities. They were physically different from modern humans. Their bodies were heavier, their skulls longer, and their faces broader. These traits likely helped them survive colder Ice Age climates. For a long time, scientists believed Neanderthals simply disappeared after modern humans expanded into their territory. Then DNA research changed that understanding. When scientists sequenced the Neanderthal genome, they compared it with modern human populations around the world. The results revealed clear traces of Neanderthal ancestry in many people alive today. Those traces appear mainly in people whose ancestors migrated outside Africa. On average, about 1 to 2% of their DNA can be linked to Neanderthals. People whose ancestry remained entirely within Africa usually carry little or none, which matches where Neanderthals lived. The percentages vary across populations as well. Many East Asian populations carry slightly more Neanderthal DNA than Europeans, suggesting several periods of contact between the two groups. Some of those inherited genes influence traits that still affect people today, including aspects of immune response and adaptation to colder climates, which means Neanderthals did not completely vanish. Small fragments of their DNA continue to circulate among modern human populations. This leads to a striking realization. For thousands of years, Earth held several intelligent human species at the same time. Our ancestors would have encountered beings that walked upright, used tools, and likely communicated in complex ways. They were recognizably human, though shaped by a different evolutionary path. Trying to imagine those encounters raises an unusual question. What would it feel like to meet another thinking species that is close enough to us to recognize, yet different enough that their minds might not work in exactly the same way? For most of our history, humanity shared the world with relatives who were both familiar and profoundly different.
That was Them's Facts. You now know more than you did before. See you in the next one. Flatten the like button, whisper to subscribe, tickle the notification bell, agitate the algorithm. I'll be waiting.